Alright, I'm gonna answer this question right here. It's talking about I want to someday teach martial arts, and I do have experience in wushu, taekwondo, boxing, and Thai boxing already. Since I have somewhat of a foundation, can I continue my training at home and get to an instructor level, or do you think it would be difficult to achieve that level with the limitations from training at home? Now, home training, you can do a lot. The physical fitness, you can do all that at home, you can do it outside. Flexibility, speed, endurance, agility, all that. Meditation, you can do that training at home. You know, the reading, writing, philosophy, you can do all that. The combat training, you can hit the punching bag, you can work the wooden dummy, you can work on forms, you can work on technique. But the challenge would be, I say, in order to get to instructor level, to become a martial artist, a martial arts instructor, in my opinion, you need to be not only extremely physically fit, but you need to be combatively capable, with weapons and without weapons. And you truly need to be capable for, your size, your weight, your age, your gender. And meditation wise, philosophy wise, you need to be developed as well. Maturity, wisdom. Now, as long as you can develop all those aspects, but in order to be like a real instructor, you need to truly be capable in the combative aspect. You can't pretend it, you can't fake it, you gotta be real, and you can hit a punching bag all day, but you can work the wooden dummy all day, you can work on forms all day, but when it comes to sparring, you need to be capable up to a certain level. I'm not talking about just being a student, I'm not just talking about being an assistant instructor, but being like the head instructor. You need to be capable, and you basically need sparring partners. You don't necessarily have to join a school to have that, but you need to have those experiences. It's like, say somebody's in boxing, you don't necessarily have to go to any tournaments. You don't need to compete in tournaments. You don't need to do any of that, but you need to spar. And how can a boxer be truly good at boxing if he never spars? He could hit the punching bag, he could practice the technique, but he never spars. You can't be a great boxer. So in martial arts, okay, if you really want to be an instructor one day, you need to have a lot of experience in sparring. Of course, the physical fitness, you gotta be really fit, you gotta have all the techniques down, but you gotta have experience to know for yourself, to prove to yourself that these techniques actually work through experience. That's to be an instructor. Now, if you're under another school, then you could be training under the guidance of the school owner, and he might train you to become an assistant, which is fine. You don't really need to be that good at sparring in order to be an assistant, because you always have the instructor to, the head instructor to ask questions to, and to help you on your way. You're just an assistant. But if you're trying to run your own school, and this is your thing, and this is your style, your art, like, you cannot call it martial arts if it doesn't work. Like, in my opinion, it's not right. You can't just claim yourself to be a martial art instructor, and you're the head instructor, and you can't even spar, you can't even defend yourself. Like, you're not even confident, you're not even capable, because you don't have the experiences. You just can't do it. It's like somebody, who claims themselves to be a firearms instructor, but then he's never been to the gun range, or he never practices shooting. He doesn't even know if he can shoot, if he's even good at shooting. That you can't be that way. You need to be good at what you do, and that's the thing about the home training that's going to be difficult, is that you need to have sparring partners. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a school. It could be your brother, your older brother, your younger brother, you know, your cousins, your friends, of whom you get together and you spar, and then you work on the techniques and you experiment and you see what works, and you constantly keep working to get better. But also what's important is sparring people of different heights, different weights, different skill levels, different genders, like sparring with all different types of people to give you more and more experience. You gotta keep getting that experience. You know, it can't be something where you don't know if these techniques actually work. You just following directions, and then you haven't even tested it out yourself. You need to test it out. You need to prove to yourself what works and know what doesn't work. So home training, it's not that it can't be done. It can be done, but you need to have a network of people that you could work with. And if you don't ever have that, then I wouldn't say that you should ever say that you're like a martial arts teacher. You could just say, hey, you know, I could show you some basics of combat, or just basics of self-defense, or some basics of martial arts, or some things that I've learned. But to falsely claim that you that you really know how to defend yourself when you actually don't, that's not the right thing to do. You know, you could be a personal fitness trainer, you could be a fitness trainer, you could be a group fitness trainer. You just have to make sure you're fit. Like, don't try to claim yourself to be like a great fitness trainer when you're not even fit yourself. Don't claim to be a great, you know, a teacher of meditation when you don't even know how to meditate yourself, and you're not even in meditation. So in self-defense and martial arts, it's not just about the fighting, but it is a big part of it too. It's martial arts. It's not just yoga. It's not just dancing. It's not just like fitness training. This is martial arts. This is fitness. This is combat. This is meditation. You got to have all of it down. And meditation is like an inner journey, so you don't really need other people for that. Having other people is fine, but you don't really need that. Fitness, it's a personal journey too. You don't have to have other people there to help you, but it can help, but you don't necessarily need it. But combat, you can only do so much by yourself. You know, you need another live, living human being that's to work the techniques with, to make sure that what you're training in is actually stuff that you truly understand, and that you could really prove to yourself through experience that it does work, you know. And it also really helps to have people to spar with that are quite experienced themselves, so then you could work with people in all different levels. You know, people that are experienced, people that are inexperienced, people that are strong, people that are weak, people that are tall, people that are short. Just work with a lot of different people. And that could happen in a school, it could happen at home. Now, even if you join a school, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be adequately prepared, because say you join a boxing gym, their reality is skewed. They're only sparring against other boxers that only punch. They don't even know how to deal with people that are kicking or ground fighting or using weapons. So even people that are in schools are not necessarily qualified to become instructors just because they're in a school. I mean, to be a head instructor in a school, you know, or teaching your own ways, your own style, you need to be proficient in everything, or as much as you possibly can be, in order to legitimately, you know, claim yourself to be like a real martial arts teacher. You know, like, don't claim yourself. Like, basically being a real martial arts teacher is almost like being like a professor or something, where you've put in all this work and study that you're the head person now. You're not just a teacher's assistant. You know, you're not just a person with just a bachelor's degree or just an associate's degree or just a high school diploma. You put in all the work to become the head person. You're the head person. You're the professor. So to be like a real martial arts teacher, you got to put in your work in all areas. You can't skip through things and just be like, well, you know, I've watched a bunch of Bruce Lee films and I practice what he practices, but you never spar. It just, you gotta constantly spar. You don't have to spar like unintelligently and risking your life, but you gotta do it in a smart, intelligent way, you know, where you don't hurt yourself or other people, but you gotta really constantly work the techniques to know how they all work. You know, that's if you want to be an instructor, not a real teacher. But if you don't care to be and you're just here to train, then it's not that big of a deal. You can take your time, and you don't even have to spar. It's not a big deal. It's like you might not feel that it's important for you, so you just don't do it. So whatever, you know, then you could just benefit from the other aspects of the martial arts. You don't care to be an instructor. You can still be an assistant instructor because the head instructor will need your assistance on whatever. He might need you to help the person with certain forms, with certain techniques. But the head instructor needs to know how to spar and know how to defend themselves. There's absolutely no excuse. There's no reason of why he is not able to do so. You know, and I view it the same way with fitness. Like, they need to be fit, they need to be able to defend themselves, they need to be proficient and good at what they do. It doesn't mean that you need to be the best in the world, where you gotta like fight every single person in this world to prove that you're the best. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you need to have a lot of experience, and you can't just do that by yourself, because when you're fighting with another human being, it's a relationship with the other person, and you gotta know how to move with that other person and how to avoid certain attacks and, you know, protect yourself. And if you never train with human beings and other live human beings that are trying to hurt you, and you're truly not capable, you're truly not confident, then you should never claim yourself to be a martial arts teacher. Claim something else. You could be even like cardio kickboxing instructor. That's fine, you know. You're just helping people to lose weight through punching and kicking, you know. That's fine. But don't say that you're a real martial arts teacher if you're not even combatively capable. But at the same token, you know, you might be a great fighter. You know, there are fighters out there that are good at what they do, but if they're lacking meditation and they don't have control of their egos, and they're just really underdeveloped in the spirituality, then they're not martial art teachers either. They're just fighters. So they need to be properly labeling themselves. You know, they could be fight coaches, and they could advertise themselves as so. You know, they're a fight coach. So you got fight coaches, you got personal trainers, you got cardio kickboxing weight loss people, like maybe Taibo, or, you know, Zumba, Pilates, you know, just helping people get fit, you know, break a sweat. But a real martial arts teacher is somebody that really knows his stuff. Like, he's really, really capable, really confident, and extremely proficient in what he does. He's worked with people thousands of times, you know, sparred thousands of times in order to get to the point to where he's at, where you could see his hard work and his abilities. And there's just no doubt that he clearly knows his thing. And that's where you need to get to in order to do it the right way. Otherwise, just be honest with the people that you're teaching. Just be like, you know, I'll show you as much as I know. but I'm not a master. You know, I'm you know, I'm learning just like you guys, and I have this school open because I love the martial arts, and I wanna I wanna get better and better, and we could train together and we could progress together, you know, and then that's fine. You know, if you got the passion for the martial arts, then go ahead, open up a school and get people to join and train with the people and learn together, then that's fine. But don't sit, you know, don't say that you're a master and that you're so, claim yourself, make people believe that you're so great at what you do, but then in actuality you don't know what the hell you're doing. You're completely lost. You're incompetent. You know, you're not capable. You know, so I feel that as long as you develop yourself in all the other areas that are required, as much as you could do by yourself, and then the combative aspect of where you work with other people, it will come. You just have to be patient, find the right people, train with them, work with them, and through time, you know, you'll start accumulating more and more experience until you get to the point where you do feel truly comfortable and confident in what you do, and that, you know, when people see you spar, they'll know that you do know your stuff, and you will prove to yourself that what you do is the real stuff, you know, like stuff that really does work, you know. So that's my feedback.